Did you know that you can connect your movies created in Tealbussy to other movies, web pages, or even physical devices? In this video we will learn how to do this with a simple example. The idea is to keep an online color record that will be accessed by both a movie and an ESP32 board. Both will be able to change this information and consult the current color to change an image on the movie, or the lit LED on the board. First, let's create the color record. To do this, we'll use a simple database table. The query to create this table is in the downloadable file in the description of this video. The communication will be done from a PHP script on our server. The principle is simple. When queried, it can change the registered color and returns the current value. The full script is available in the downloadable file in the description below. We will come back to it when necessary in this video. For testing, we will use a simulator of an ESP32 board available on the Walkway.com service. The complete project is available for download in the description below. The sketch starts by defining the values used and some variables such as the connection to the server. Next, we configure the board's ports and start the Wi-Fi connection. Finally, we make a first query to our PHP script to identify which LED should be activated. The let_get function will access our script and evaluate the response received. In the script, note that the database is consulted and, if the request came from the ESP32 board, not from the movie, with the movie_get or movie_set actions, the return is just a simple string with the color value, red, green, or blue. Returning to the board sketch, we see that the system loop is quite simple. It checks to see if any of the colored buttons are pressed. If it doesn't identify this, it calls the let_get function again to check if there was a change in color. If any of the buttons are pressed, the let_set function is called. The call to the let_set function is similar to the previous one, but in this case we include the value of the color we want to define. Back in the PHP script, we see that when one of the color setting actions, let_set or movie_set, is identified, we record the information in the database and then return the current value. Now, let's check our movie on Tealbussy. Import the movie ESP32 connection, available in the description of this video, and open the scene color set. Let's start by checking the global text values by accessing the Movie Properties window, Movie Properties in the left menu. Here, we define two values that will be used, the link for color recovery and the one used for its definition. Global values are very useful when the same text will be reused in several parts of the movie. Now, check out the Action Snippets tab. The codes listed here work similarly to functions. You create a set of codes, give it a name, and can run them whenever you want using the run action. Let's take a closer look at the getColor snippet. In one, we use the call.process action to make a call to our PHP script to retrieve the color. Note the use of our global getColor link value in 2. If you have any questions about using the call.process action, check out the Tealbussy Scripting Actions manual. The link is available in the description of this video. When executing this action successfully, Tealbussy will retrieve the values returned by the script in variables. We will see this shortly. Upon successful return of the call, note that, in 3, we execute the display color snippet to change the displayed image according to the defined color. Finally, in 4, we see that we eliminate any defined timer and, right after, we add a new call to getColor for 10 seconds from now. Let's quickly go back to the PHP script to see how it returns when it is called by our movie. Note that in this case the response is in the form of a JSON encoded text. This object describes the variables to be defined in the Tealbussy movie. In this case, 2 of them are defined. A Boolean value called success and a string value called setColor with the name of the color to be displayed. Check out the Tealbussy Scripting Actions manual for more information on the return for the call.process function. Checking the display color snippet, we see that we first check the value of success. Remember that we access Boolean variables by adding ? To the beginning of their name. Once confirmed, we proceed to compare the value of set color, starting with $, since it is a string. If one of the supported colors is identified, we change the content of the colors instance accordingly. If you have difficulty creating actions, such as identifying an asset, remember to use the assistants that are always available just below the actions text area. Lastly, the set color snippet. Here, we call the set color link. Notice that it also returns the current color, which we applied using display color. Now that all the snippets are defined, the next step is to start queries as soon as the movie is loaded. Go to the Start Actions tab and see how we define the initial values of success and set color, as well as making the first call to get color. One last tweak before we close the Movie Properties window, go to the Plugins tab. Both the call.process and the trace functions used in our snippets are provided by native Tealbussy plugins. Make sure both are enabled in your movie. There's still one thing missing. The color check actions are already triggered automatically with the movie, but what about the definition ones? For this, we have 3 text fields in our scene: red, green, and blue. Select one of them and click Trigger Actions in the menu on the right. Note that when you click on any of them, the set color variable is set accordingly and, immediately afterwards, the set color snippet is called. With everything ready, now it's time to test. Notice that both the button clicks in our simulation on the ESP32 board are received by the movie being displayed in the browser, and the button clicks in the movie generate a change in the LED that is lit. The interaction in this example is quite simple, with long reaction times, but with the basic information in this video you will be able to create much more complex and dynamic interactions, such as movies that talk to each other, voting systems, and much more. In this video we saw how to use the call.process action to establish communication between a movie created in Tealbussy and other agents, such as other movies, pages, or even hardware.